Long before European ships arrived, Indigenous peoples thrived across the vast expanse we now call Canada. For thousands of years, they lived in harmony with the land, developing unique cultures, languages, and traditions. From the Inuit of the Arctic to the Haida of the Pacific Northwest, these First Nations, Inuit and Métis peoples, are the original inhabitants of Canada. Their history, rich and diverse, is deeply woven into the fabric of the nation. Long before European ships arrived, Indigenous peoples thrived across the vast expanse we now call Canada. For thousands of years, they lived in harmony with the land, developing unique cultures, languages, and traditions. From the Inuit of the Arctic to the Haida of the Pacific Northwest, these First Nations, Inuit and Métis peoples, are the original inhabitants of Canada. Their history, rich and diverse, is deeply woven into the fabric of the nation. The early European exploration of Canada was primarily driven by two major powers, France and England. French explorers, seeking furs and a northwest passage to Asia, established settlements along the St. Lawrence River and in the Great Lakes region. Meanwhile, English explorers focused their efforts on the Atlantic coast, establishing fishing outposts and colonies. These competing claims to land and resources set the stage for centuries of rivalry between the two European powers. As European exploration gave way to colonization, more and more settlers arrived from across the Atlantic. They brought with them their own languages, customs, and beliefs, contributing to the cultural mosaic that would come to define Canada. However, this influx of European settlers also led to the displacement and dispossession of Indigenous peoples, as colonial governments claimed ownership of their ancestral lands. The legacy of colonization continues to cast a long shadow on Canada, as the country grapples with the ongoing impacts of this period on Indigenous communities. The rivalry between France and England for control of North America culminated in a series of conflicts throughout the 17th and 18th centuries. Known as the French and Indian Wars in the American colonies, these conflicts had a profound impact on the future of Canada. The decisive battle for control of Canada took place in 1759 on the Plains of Abraham, just outside Quebec City. The British victory in this battle marked the beginning of the end of French colonial rule in North America. The Treaty of Paris in 1763 officially ceded Canada to Great Britain, ending the era of French colonial rule. While British rule brought about significant changes, the French legacy remained strong, particularly in Quebec. The British government, recognizing the importance of accommodating its new French-speaking subjects, passed the Quebec Act in 1774. This act granted religious freedom to Catholics and recognized French civil law, ensuring the survival of French language and culture in Canada. Section 4. Forging a Nation Confederation and its Aftermath. The British conquest of Canada brought political stability, but also new challenges. The American Revolution highlighted the risks of colonial discontent. Growing desires for self-governance led to calls for political reform. These factors led to the Confederation of Canada in 1867, uniting Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and the province of Canada. Confederation marked the birth of Canada, but it was just the beginning. The following decades saw the expansion of the Dominion of Canada. The purchase of Rupert's Land in the Northwestern Territory extended Canada's reach. This expansion often came at the expense of Indigenous peoples. Section 5. A Growing Nation, from Railway to World Stage. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were a time of significant growth for Canada. The Canadian Pacific Railway connected eastern Canada to British Columbia. Completed in 1885, it facilitated trade, settlement, and communication. However, it also displaced Indigenous communities and exploited their lands. As Canada matured, it began to assert its independence on the world stage. Canada's participation in World War I marked a turning point. Canadian soldiers distinguished themselves in battles like Vimy Ridge. The war fostered a sense of national identity among Canadians. Section 6. Modern Canada, a tapestry of cultures. The 20th century witnessed profound social, political, and economic changes in Canada. The country played a significant role in World War II, further solidifying its place on the world stage. The post-war era saw a period of economic prosperity, leading to the expansion of social welfare programs and the development of a distinctive Canadian identity. Canada also became a vocal advocate for international peacekeeping and multilateralism, playing an active role in the United Nations and other international organizations. Today, Canada is a diverse and multicultural nation, home to people from all corners of the globe. It is a country grappling with its past, particularly its treatment of Indigenous peoples, while striving to build a more just and equitable future. As Canada continues to evolve, it remains committed to its core values of peace, democracy, and respect for human rights, serving as a beacon of hope and opportunity in an increasingly uncertain world.